DHTA issues calls for more sustainable tourism financing. Parliament convened earlier today. Up for debate is an extension of VAT exemption on select goods until July. Antigua votes, UPP lays down marker as campaign begins. And Melania Trump denies Epstein links, calls for hearings. I am Soana Benjamin, and you are watching Emo Nightly News for April 10th, 2026. More details of these and other stories after the break. The sixth meeting of the third session of the 11th Parliament convened earlier today. One of the items up for debate is an extension of VAT exemptions on select goods until July. Let's listen to the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit.
We are here to take decisive action to stabilize the lives and the livelihoods of our citizens of the Commonwealth of Dominica. Because families have challenges in meeting the rising cost of basic necessities. So this government is acting with urgency and, very importantly, Mr. Speaker, empathy. Because a government must always be empathetic. It must always show that it cares for the people. Not in words, Mr. Speaker, but by deeds and by actions. And this has been the hallmark of this Dominican Labour Party in government over the last 25 years.
We'll be sure to bring you more information in Monday's newscast. And in other news, the Adult Education Division within the Ministry of Education officially launched the Unlocking Potential, Equipping Marginalized Communities for Tomorrow's Jobs project under the Local Engagement for Action Fund on Thursday, April 9th. The 12-month project, supported by Global Affairs Canada and the World University Service of Canada, aims to address disruptions in education and employment by providing inclusive, community-based training opportunities for 200 vulnerable youth and young adults, including school dropouts, single parents, and persons with disabilities. Participants will be equipped with vocational, entrepreneurial, and life skills aligned with current labor market needs. The project is being rolled out across 7 districts in Dominica as part of efforts to build capacity, promote inclusion, and support sustainable livelihoods. Honorable Minister of Education Octavia Alfred addressed the launch.
Public speaking, fixing a leaking tap. There are so many ladies who would stay stranded by the roadside if they have a flat tire. What about learning to change your tire? Because every little skill counts. And you know what? They add up. And when they add up, you are more capable, you are more adaptable, you are more marketable, you are more independent, and honestly, you are less stressful. Life is less stressful when you know how to handle things for yourself. How adult education has evolved. When adult education was instituted, it was about teaching adults basic literacy and numeracy, as you heard. You'll see some, you have to go and look for them. You have to fix it at a time when they can come. You'll see some people are ashamed to come because nobody didn't know that they couldn't read. Now everybody going to know that they can't read. And they'd have their little book and they hide in it sometimes. The farmers used to roll up the book and put it in their back pocket, you know. But Dominica is now at 94% at literacy in Dominica. I am sure the next report to come out will maybe place us a little higher. We can know that by looking at results of grade 2, grade 4, grade 6 assessment. We can know. So now the role of adult education has changed to offer more lifelong learning to all.
The Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, DHTA, held its annual general meeting yesterday, April 9th, at the Fortune Hotel. President of the DHTA, Kitwani Ferrara, in her address, spoke of the areas of growth experienced in the last year.
We have seen encouraging progress. There has been steady growth in the stayover arrivals, supported significantly by improved airlift and the continued investment in our private sector to enhance regional and international air connectivity. We have seen increased collaboration across various sectors, greater visibility for Dominica as a sustainable ecotourism destination, and continued development of niche markets, including diving, hiking, health and wellness, and community-based tourism.
Notwithstanding this, the president asserted that it is not enough to simply state that tourism is growing, but rather to clearly demonstrate how the industry is expanding, whether that growth is sustainable, inclusive, and aligned with the long-term vision of a resilient tourism product.
A clear and intentional tourism vision. We must continue to champion a model of tourism that is low volume and high yield, protecting what makes Dominica unique. Our unparalleled natural environment is not just an asset, it's our brand, our competitive advantage, and our responsibility.
She also renewed calls by her association for more sustainable financing to support critical areas of the industry, including site management and trail maintenance.
Sustainable financing for tourism is important. One of the most critical issues before us is how we fund tourism sustainability. Destination marketing, site maintenance, and trail management cannot continue to operate with funding gaps. We must move towards fair and transparent visitor-based contributions, a well-managed, independently administered fund, and a system that is equitable across stayovers and cruise visitors. Getting this right is directly impacted dependent getting this right will directly impact the demand and visitor experience.
Meanwhile, the minister's speech was read by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Claudius Lestrade. The minister also spoke of the importance of having a sustainable tourism product.
The condition and management of the tourism product on the ground assumes critical importance. Strategic investments are currently being directed toward key sites, including the Champagne Beach, Emerald Pool, Trafalgar Falls, Indian River, and Mont Bruce. These interventions are not merely cosmetic. They are intended to address long outstanding deficiencies in infrastructure, visitor flow, and site management. Equally important is the integration of climate resilience and sustainability principles into these upgrades. Given Dominica's terrain and environmental exposure, infrastructure durability and adaptive designs are essential to maintaining reliability and safety.
In other news, tributes continue to pour in for Philip UNICEF Francis, a key figure and leader in the historic Geneva Uprising in Grand Bay, Dominica. Francis played a pivotal role in leading the uprising, which significantly shaped the socio-political landscape of the community and left a lasting legacy in Granby. In his honor, a panel discussion titled Geneva Uprising's Impact on Granby was held last evening. The event was moderated by John Roach and featured panelists Willie Fevrier and Crispin Gregoire. It was hosted by the Philip Francis Memorial and Legacy Committee in collaboration with the Granby Village Council. A procession in his honor is scheduled for today, moving from Lally to the playing field in Granby. Philip UNICEF Francis will be laid to rest in a private burial. The Ministry of National Security hosted a media tour at the Dominica State Prison, showcasing major improvements to security and infrastructure. Let's hear from Honorable Rayburn Blackmore.
And the courts sort of sitting both at the magistrate court level and the Supreme Court level regularly. Well, they want to meet at all. We had a situation whereby we had an increase in the remand population up to 143 thereabout, 143, averaging 143. What we developed was thereafter was a holistic approach, one, to ensure that we had the full complement of magistrates, to ensure that matters can be dealt with in a more efficient manner, and also we ensured that we introduced the night courts. We are about also to appoint a special prosecutor to deal specifically with the matters that are pending within the system, especially serious matters, murder, etc., focus on matters pending before the magistrate court to get them out of the system. And I must say we have seen a significant drop in the remand population in the recent past. We're now down to 83. That's good. 83.
The media also viewed the new remand block, designed to improve conditions for inmates on remand. The Superintendent of Prisons explained that the upgraded facility will enhance safety, efficiency, and overall management within the institution.
Okay. Due to a few operational challenges, we have not yet used the whole facility, but very soon it will be commissioned. 3 bunks in itself, so we have 20 prisoners. We have also facility stainless steel.
During the tour, members of the media were shown a range of contraband items that had been smuggled into the facility, including weapons, drugs, and mobile phones. Officials noted that the newly upgraded entry point, equipped with enhanced screening and detection systems, is expected to significantly detect the smuggling of such items.
If you see this soap, it looks like a normal soap, but actually,
what's that?
that's a battery, a cell phone battery, and a SIM card. Okay, that's the length at which people go to conceal items and have them smuggled through the prisons. And the juice now, as we saw, there's a cell phone in there. So what happens is that they open the bottom of the juice, they take their time, get it unstick it. Empty the contents of the box, and they hide whatever they need to hide inside there. Okay? Yeah, the phone is in some water, so.
Honorable Blackmore further reiterated the need for these enhanced security measures and the importance of preventing illegal items from entering the prison. And in entertainment news, the first ever VLT, Virtual Lottery Terminal, Easter tournament of the Dominican National Lottery Commission kicked off on Wednesday, April 8th at Venus Gaming at the Hudson Shopping Mall in the heart of Roseau. There will be a series of preliminary rounds at agent locations island-wide, and the 2 top players at any agent location will advance to the semi-finals, which will be held on April 19th. From the semis, 20 top winners will advance to the grand finals on April 26th. The top winner of the finals will win $10,000. Harry's brand manager at the Dominican National Lotteries Commission, Erronia Stedman James.
This is the excitement that you are missing if you have not registered. I am urging you to visit a Blast Gaming location near you and register, because we are going to give you big wins this Easter, this April, big wins.
And finally, tomorrow, April 11th at 5:30 p.m., the Realm in Roseau, Blossom Dominica and Finesse Beauty will showcase an extravagant production of Dominica's story on the runway. It promises to be a powerful theatrical fashion production. Let's hear from entrepreneur and CEO Kimaro Matthew.
On Saturday, the 11th of April, we are hosting a red carpet event, and this event is geared towards promoting us as Caribbean Islanders. It's dedicated to preserving our heritage and our identity, and on the 11th, we are going to display. We're going to display our resilience. We're going to speak of our challenges, and we're going to be storytelling through fashion, theatrics, and drama.
This year's theme coincides with the theme for Jazz and Creole 2026, so fashionistas can get outfit inspiration for the upcoming event. Be sure to check out Afro-Caribbean Fashion Expo 2026 Going for Gold at the Realm at 5:30 p.m. tomorrow, April 11th. There is also a pay-per-view option that you can inquire about. See you at the Realm for a spectacular Afro-Caribbean fashion and cultural production. And that's all for local news. We'll be right back with regional news. On the regional scene, Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell received an official visit from Acting President Delcy Rodriguez, marking a significant moment of diplomatic engagement between Grenada and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. The visit formed part of ongoing efforts to strengthen bilateral relations, with discussions focused on areas of mutual interest, cooperation, and development. Officials highlighted the importance of continued dialogue and partnership between the two nations, noting that such engagements play a key role in advancing regional collaboration. The meeting also underscored both countries' commitment to deepening diplomatic ties and exploring opportunities that support economic growth and sustainable development. The engagement reflects broader efforts to reinforce Caribbean-Latin American cooperation and build stronger partnerships across the region. The opposition United Progressive Party, UPP, has officially signaled its readiness for the upcoming general election, launching its campaign with a strong show of unity and determination. Political leader Jamal Pringle rallied party supporters at the start of what is expected to be a short and intense campaign period. Addressing party members and supporters, Pringle emphasized the need for unity, grassroots mobilization, and a clear vision to win the confidence of voters. He called on supporters to remain focused and energized, noting that the campaign would require discipline, teamwork, and consistent engagement with communities across the country. The UPP's early mobilization is being seen as an effort to set the tone for the election race, as political parties move quickly to secure voter support ahead of polling day. More campaign activities and public meetings are expected in the coming days as the race for leadership in Antigua and Barbuda intensifies. And finally, on the regional scene, Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel says he will not resign despite growing pressure from the United States, led by President Donald Trump. Speaking in a recent interview, Diaz-Canel insisted that Cuba is a sovereign nation and its leadership is determined by its people, not foreign governments. Stepping down is not part of our vocabulary, he said. Tensions have intensified as the U.S. tightens an oil blockade on the island, worsening fuel shortages, power outages, and disruptions to food and water distribution. The Cuban leader described the measures as a hostile policy aimed at destabilizing the country. Despite the pressure, Diaz-Canel vowed Cuba will stand firm and defend its independence, while Russia has reaffirmed its support, providing limited assistance as the crisis deepens. And that's all for regional news. We'll be right back with international news.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job whatever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. In your blast up and rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive jackpot.
It's going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
In international news, U.S. First Lady Melania Trump has denied any connection to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, stating that rumors linking her to him need to stop. Speaking at the White House, she said she only briefly crossed paths with Epstein in 2000 and had no knowledge of his criminal activities or abuse of victims. She also denied claims that Epstein introduced her to Donald Trump, describing such allegations as mean-spirited attempts to damage her reputation.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach.
And finally, in international news, tensions in the Middle East are rising as Israel and Hezbollah exchange fresh strikes, strengthening a fragile truce. Hezbollah says it targeted Israeli forces and border areas, while Israel launched airstrikes across Lebanon. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel is pushing for talks with Lebanon on disarming Hezbollah. Meanwhile, the United States and Iran are set for talks in Pakistan, with Vice President J.D. Vance expressing optimism. Concerns are also growing over oil shipments to the Strait of Hormuz as security risks continue to impact global supply. And that's all for international news. Stay tuned for sports.
Attention! The Alwyn Bowley Foundation, Max Services, and E.O. Libla family invites you to an evening of poetry, jazz, cocktail with a touch of bouillon on May 2nd at Jungle Bay Resort from 6 p.m. Performances by selected secondary schools, strict cast, and experienced poets. Pan in Harmony, King Bob, Lady Octave, Shalina, Andre and Sax, along with Bouillon Emperor. Tickets are available at Jay's Bookstore and Jungle Bay Resort. Tickets $150. Don't forget the dates. May 2nd, jazz, poetry, cocktail with a touch of bouillon. May 2nd, be there.
Rising football talent from Portsmouth, Davon George, has earned a major breakthrough, securing a spot in a European Development Tour trial in Antigua after an outstanding showing at the Posse Cup Invitational. Representing Bombers Football Club, George claimed both the Most Valuable Player Award and the Golden Boot Award. The trial, hosted by Jets Football Club from April 9th to 12th, will see him compete in front of international scouts. Officials say the achievement highlights growing opportunities for football development in Northern Dominica, as George's success inspires young athletes across the region. And EmoNews joins in wishing young George much success as he competes. In cricket news, the Leeward Islands Hurricanes will face the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force as the West Indies Championship 2026 begins April 12 in Antigua. The opening match will be held at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, with additional games at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium and the Antigua Recreation Ground. Justin Greaves captains the Hurricanes for the first time, while the Red Force are led by Joshua De Silva. Key players include Mikael Lewis and Kadim Henry for the Hurricanes, with Jason Mohammed and Evan Lewis returning for the Red Force. Both teams are aiming for a strong start, with a competitive series expected. And finally, England wicketkeeper batsman Jos Buttler returned to form, leading the Gujarat Titans to a dramatic one-run win over the Delhi Capitals in the Indian Premier League. Gujarat posted 210 for 4, with Shubman Gill scoring 70 and Washington Sundar adding 55. Buttler struck a quick 52 of 27 balls. Delhi responded with 209 for 8, led by KL Rahul's 92, falling just short. Needing 2 runs of the final ball, Kuldeep Yadav was run out by Buttler, sealing victory in a thrilling finish. Buttler called the moment amazing as Gujarat stayed competitive and Delhi suffered a narrow defeat. That's all for sports. We'll be right back with the weather report.
Welcome to Portsmouth, the home of jazz and Creole.
This is where everything starts to build. And just a few minutes away,
on May 3rd, this entire space transforms
into music, into style, into a feeling you don't want to miss. Jazz and Creole, proudly presented by the government of Dominica. And it all happens right here. The artists performing on the main stage. From Jamaica, Taurus Riley, the Singy King, a voice that moves generations, and the Black Soil Band. Also from Jamaica, Dean Fraser. When the sax hits, everything slows down. From the USA, the Manhattans. Timeless souls, effortless, unforgettable. Dominica's Princess of Song, Mikkel Henderson, a voice that commands every moment. Dominica's neo-soul queen, Lily Octave, smooth, rich, and completely her own. Pure energy from Dominica, swinging stars. When they start, you move. The pulse of the streets. From Dominica, rhythm knockers, raw percussion, iron-strong energy. From Dominica, Fael Landa, honest sound, real connection. From Dominica, Janet Jackson, a voice that carries feeling, depth, and presence. And from Dominica, Khadija Joseph, new energy, a sound you'll feel. This is how we jazz up Creole in Dominica.
May 3rd, 2 p.m. Port Shirley, Cabritz National Park.
Tickets, VIP $450. At fringe events, $175. General admission, $200. Ages 12 to 17, $75. And children under 12 enter for free. Get your tickets now at dominicafestivals.com and at select outlets in Roseau and Portsmouth. And when you're coming, come for an experience. In fact,
Make it a weekend.
Come from Friday. There's lots of available accommodations in the north and plenty to do.
Go whale watching, then slow it down. Snorkel the reefs, then take it inland. Drift through the Indian River and chase a waterfall at Syndicate. Then go deeper. Find your way to Paradise Valley. Step into the chocolate factory. Then shift the scene. Red Rocks. Then back to the coast. Coconut Beach, Purple Turtle Beach, Bell Hall Beach. Find a quiet spot, even a secret beach. Ride a horse along the shore. Eat well. Take your time. That's Portsmouth. We'll see you at the Fort Shirley Cabritz National Park on May 3rd from 2 p.m. dressed in your Afro elegance attire.
Here is a weather report from the Dominica Meteorological Service. Mostly dry and warm conditions are expected as a high-pressure system dominates the area. Look for periods of cloudiness with a few isolated showers. From tonight into Saturday, a low-level trough will bring increased cloudiness and scattered showers. Marine conditions remain slight to moderate with seas near 7 feet along the east coast and around 3 feet on the west coast. As always, we remind you to stay informed and stay safe. This has been EmoNews Nightly Package for April 10th, 2026. I am your presenter, Soana Benjamin. Do have a lovely evening, everyone.